Good morning, everybody. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. Everything's good here so far. Not really. We have this guy right here. I think he's a Crown Vic Grand Marquis. I don't know, they all look the same to me. But anyways, it's just a quickie. We're just putting in a 150 MP real quick. Apparently their factory CD player died. They want a new CD player. It happens. Fernando's cutting his hands up on the dash, trying to plug the wiring harness in. I have the radio. Got the face off. Ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, there you go. Now these cars can be fun. What you want to do anytime you do one of these, you want to look in the trunk, because sometimes these have like amplifiers, or it's a two-piece radio where there's an antenna in the back. So check it out. This area right here, okay? You want to always check right there. If there's anything there, be wary. It's not so bad if it's just the amplifier. If it's just the amplifier back there, it's no big deal. You can integrate into the amplifier behind the radio. If you see an antenna plugged into it, that's when your day just got a lot worse. Now that means that the radio on the dash is just a control center and not the actual radio. So you're gonna have to run an antenna from back here to in here, and also all the wires. If you guys ever done a Ford Taurus, think Ford Taurus. Let's hop in real quick. Remember, always take the face off before you try to push it in. You don't want to crack this. And that's it. That's the fun on one of these cars. I know, right? How exciting. Well, the day has started out pretty fun. It's actually started out pretty late. I spent most of the morning on the phone talking with customers, future customers. Lots of fun there. The next car up, as we like to say, on to the next one. This one is done. The next car up is another Ford F150 with that cool pack audio dash kit. Yeah, I know, right? I don't even know where to begin on talking about this. I know, we haven't done 20 or 30 of those.
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
Let's get it in here and we'll talk about it some more. Maybe there's something new to talk about. I doubt it. Well, here it is, F150 in all its glory. He has already put an amplifier in it, and it is somehow hooked up to the radio. We need to figure out how he did it, so once we get the radio out, I hope he didn't cut the harness. It is installed in a very strange place. He shoehorned it here up underneath this seat. I guess he hasn't seen any YouTube videos where you fold down the seat and put it there. It's okay, it fit. This is not the car I'd put it underneath, especially one that wide, but he did. The other thing that's cool about this one is it does have the factory backup camera, and though most of these we don't, we're gonna spend some time today talking about how to connect the factory backup camera in this particular vehicle. There's nothing hard to it, we just don't get to do a lot of them. That's what we're gonna talk about. Yay, we don't have to build the dash kit or anything. Well, you actually have to build the dash kit, but you guys don't have to see that, because we're gonna talk about something else. Is that exciting, Fernando? Yay! See? First off, we gotta get the radio out of the dash. He's trying to figure out where the high level, low level is hooked up. Let's get started. Okay, so Fernando's pretty quick on that one. He found the high level, low level adapter. Let's go take a look. Ow. So it is located here in the back side of the car. Looks like he just used an LP7 too. Cool. So he has this RCA ran right here. We just need to reroute this up to the radio. And of course, disconnect this. Good job, Fernando.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So I definitely won't be as quick getting the radio out, but let's get the radio out. So inside with all the wiring harnesses, this guy right here, this little nondescript reverse camera harness. And the reason why we call it a reverse camera harness is because this is yellow. This typically denotes camera in our industry. It could also be video, but for some reason no one has adopted the cool brown Pioneer. Everyone just sticks with this yellow. I wish they'd adopt the brown Pioneer though, so that we'd be able to know that it's just not like video. Anyway, side note, where this needs to go is this guy right here. This is the cool screen we're taking out. This plug right here is what this is going to plug into. That's it. So once you've unplugged this, if you're worried that you'll forget what harness this is, maybe put a zip tie around it, put a little silver dot on it. But this harness is just gonna plug into what this came out of. So let's go into the car and we'll plug it in. So the reason why I said maybe put a zip tie around it or a silver dot on it is because there's a ton of harnesses that are just, they're all black. So you have all these. Like this comes out of the sync module. You're not gonna be using that for anything. So you gotta kind of move this back in here so it doesn't get caught up in the door. But this little guy right here, this is the one we're after. It is a 12-pin adapter, plugs in like this, clicks into place, and now we have our backup camera all set and ready to go. The kit also comes with the USB retention. We like to put heat shrink over this because it's such a big head and such a small head. It'd be nice if they made some form of a lock, but it's universal. Fernando's already got the RCA run up here into the dash. What we're going to do is go ahead and grab our harness, plug it in, crimp on our remote turn on. Drop that up to the top hole. If your Ford has an auxiliary input, not all of them do, but if it does, the kit has a set of RCAs. Now, not all cars have RCAs as input. Some of them have auxiliary. Not supplied in the kit, you may want to pick up a little 6-inch aux to RCA. There again, we've heat shrinked it up so these aren't going to come loose. All right, let me grab the radio. Plugging in a radio, I always like to work with the longest cables first and then work my way closer into the dash. For some reason, a lot of people grab like the shortest cable first and then they're like having to work really close in there. The other thing too is when you're actually plugging in a radio, as you plug in the cables, don't be afraid to unplug and move things around. If things like wire management, if it's not working out, like one wire is short or wrapped around another, just unplug it, unwrap it, and plug it back in. Don't be afraid to do that. Now there's a nice bar up inside here that I like to mount this brain box to so it doesn't bang. Like in this case it has this pocket. You definitely don't want it smacking the pocket. Now the other thing too is that you took out a ton of screws. Go ahead and put all those back in so that if you do have to replace it with the factory radio, all the screws are still in the dash. All right, so now we just want to test and see if everything works, and then we might also have to do some adjustment on the dash. Come into the setup, go to tools, set camera settings, turn the camera on, and then we'll X out of there. Let's put it in reverse. We have our cool backup camera. When you retain the factory's backup camera, your dynamic lines will still function. You can see the center line is turning and these pale white lines are also turning because that's part of the DSP built into the camera. So by replacing the radio, you don't lose that stuff. Another thing too, if you're like us and you want to put something over this gear shifter like this sock, what happens is it actually pushes these buttons on the side. These two here. We found that out the hard way after a couple minutes of panic, us not being able to take the key out, and we realized it was the sock that's really tight on this. So our gapping is good. The radio looks nice in the dash. So we're gonna go ahead and try out CarPlay, make sure that our microphone and all our steering wheel controls work. What's the weather like today?
It's currently clear.
All right, so this F-150 is done. Apparently I have a Jedi back here. We're gonna get on to the next one, as we like to say.